is that the Commission has concluded investigations in some of the matters pertaining to the case at the Konkola copper mines, KCM, and has charged and arrested Mr. Milingo Lungu, a male aged 43 of plot number 22763 Mulungushi Road in Roma, Lusaka, for obtaining money by false pretenses, contrary to Section 308, as read with Section 309 of the Penal Code Act, Chapter 87 of the laws of Zambia. He's also been arrested for theft, contrary to Section 280 of the Penal Code Act, Chapter 87 of the laws of Zambia, and money laundering, contrary to Section 7 of the Prohibition and Prevention of Money Laundering Act, number 14 of 2001, as read with Act 44 of 2010. The allegations are that Mr. Milingo Lungu jointly and whilst acting together with other persons unknown, on dates unknown, but between 22nd May 2019 and 15th August 2021, did engage in theft involving 110.4 million Kwacha and 250,000 US dollars. It is further alleged that he obtained money by false pretenses amounting to $2.2 million, and he has also been charged for money laundering on the same amounts. The money is said to have come into his possession by virtue of him being the provisional liquidator for Konkola Copper Mines, PLC. So the suspect has been released on police bond and will appear in court soon. We further wish to inform members of the public that investigations of the other matters of interest have reached an advanced stage, and the public will be informed as soon as investigations have been concluded.
You need to take the advice seriously. I wrote him a letter telling him that the liquidation of KCM will backfire on you because it is wrong. By law, when you liquidate a company, it simply means you are winding up a company. That's the end of the company. The job of the liquidator is to go and sell the assets and end the company, come to Pakra and tell them this company does no longer exist, we liquidated it. You cannot go on a liquidation and at the same time appoint a management to run the company as a going concern. Lungu is a lawyer and he should know that, and he knows that, but is being motivated by crookedness, where he wants that liquidator to run the company so that they can steal from the proceeds of copper at Konkola Copper Mines. Because what law is supporting Lungu to run a company that is under liquidation? There's no law. So I wrote to him in earnest. He goes to the airport in Ndola. Oh, they are writing to me. We are going ahead. Go ahead. Because this country is not lawlessness. And when you are president, it does not mean you have got the absolute power to do what you can do. You have to follow the law. And if the law is liquidation, go and liquidate the company. He made the mistake in the first beginning. But the problem that Lungu has, when you advise him, he gets upset. You should have respect for the people that elected you as president. But that is how people who are crooked behave. When you tell them the truth, they get upset. So this issue of Konkola Copper Mines, Mr. President, if you have ears here, I am warning you, because when I take over Chimbokaila, Ekokai, because you can't run a country like the extension of your own bedroom. It doesn't work out that. Now, as regards the question that you have asked me, he says FCI is speculation. You and I know that for the purpose of reporting, they don't mention names. But the FCI have got the actual names. So if Lungu wants to know who are among his ministers are mentioned in the FC, it's a question of just calling Mrs. Chilo and she'll give him the names. But because this man is full of protecting thieves in his government, because I've said he's also part of the corruption. You cannot fight corruption when you're corrupt yourself. And this is what President Lungu has shown us. He has no ability, he has no intention, because he's also, you know where I come from, to tell, advise the newlywed. So Lungu, what he's doing, is scared of talking about corruption because he's corrupt himself. It's as simple as that. So he cannot trust in the FCI report. Already Mwanza was attacking it, Antonio Mwanza. That's what they did even last year. But that will not help you. Political power is very short. If kaunda waletila kumululesa, banshi kaunda aya, Mugabe aya, nga imweba Lungu makanshukwe. 2021, Chawama. There is no who is going to allow him to change the FIC report. Nobody will allow him. Who is going to allow him to change the law? Nobody will allow him. You see what happens with Rupiah Band. He removed the abuse of authority clause in the law. You remember? Immediately Mr. Sata came into power, he reinstated it. So if he's going to remove the law that deals with FIC, we'll wait for him for 2021. We'll reinstate it and arrest him. It's as simple as that. You think we are Lungu ni balesa? Lesa fieka, eushalumile, eushapange, isambi. Any other person, whether president, prime minister, elo mzambia chomwa bipi, mfokutina ba president kwa tanga kuni balesa. Bantu fienga, ifo ngalu bakumu wafadi mwana hapo na umani we pompo. Simple as that. So, let us not cheat the people of Zambia. Mailo wabwana bale landa uko baile kundola. No, there will be consultation between FRA and the farmers to come up with a price of maize. I've been in government, there's never such a thing. It is government who fixes the price of maize. Now he's saying the farmers have been exploited for too long. So he knows the farmers have been exploited and he has not done anything. So he wants to mislead the farmers that this year they are going to get a better price. Insoni ehuntu. Insoni ehuntu. So bashmua na balungu ifintu na afimibi pila sana shukuru. Ngani nengana lileka. Nomba panti mata mwako dansoni. Elo ngata ukwe tensoni. Aba mbatira nshitauli mungu.
Just for purposes of season of events, the President of the announcements on the national interest decision that he was going to make in order to protect the interests of the people and the company. Simply put, the liquidator has taken charge and he will tell you exactly what will happen, but to disengage the President from that broad perspective, KCM is too big to fail. Is aware of several other factors that without an intervention the company would fail. So the President has fulfilled this process, that the due process of the law will have to take place. So the necessary proceedings have been done. So the management has been briefed and they will take over, and the unions will make further comments. Mr. LUNGU.
Thank you very much, Samuel. So we have served the document on the mine management. ZCCM-IH, as you know, commenced a petition against KCM, and the grounds of that petition is that they've lost confidence in the manner that the mine and the business and assets are being managed. So on that ground, they've petitioned the court that the KCM should be wound up for just and equitable reasons. Following that petition, they applied for a provisional liquidator, and I was appointed to be provisional liquidator. I'll be provisional in the sense that it's an interim measure until a final winding up order is made, if it will be made. So in the meantime, the order appointing me has vested the assets of KCM in myself. So I'll be continuing to meet the management to see how we are going to proceed from here. But what I would like to assure everyone is that the status quo will continue. The mine will continue operating as it has been operating until obviously the court decides whether the winding up order will be made or not. So I would urge all workers, suppliers, contractors not to be anxious in the interim period, because all measures are being taken to ensure that the transition is seamless. So that is our statement, and thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, so in terms of worker salaries, obviously that will be taken care of. I think no one should worry about the workers being paid. We are going to pay the workers as a liquidator. So the emphasis here, what we are saying is that the status quo will continue, probably even better than what was before, but we'll also ensure that there is a seamless transition. The going concern value of the company has to be maintained. For me, that is my primary concern. I've been appointed to ensure that the assets are not dissipated, there is no stripping and so on and so forth. So it's a holding position, so to say, until the court finally decide on the fate of KCM PLC.
Thank you. The union leaders, if they wish to speak to the media, can proceed. Yes. Joseph Chair, President Milingo Lungu. We also want to, Chair Joseph, President Milingo Lungu, to tell our fellow workers across KCM that the cries, I think we have weighed them, and the petition which came through the union, we presented to it, and we know that the failures in KCM need to be taken to another level. So the concerns have been made in terms of the workers. What we want to urge our fellow workers, as we look at this transition, once tusunge amasets ya mgodi oyo, however, your investor will be intact. Even the period of transition, let's all follow the rules of the company. Let's follow the rules of the company so that no one should lose a job during this transition. Let's report for work early. Let's report knock off in time. The rules will continue to apply even in this period. So, as a union, we will also be watching so that there is no disturbance in production. While this issue of vendetta is being looked at in court, the workers have cried. I think this is also the opportunity they have been looking for. So, this is our company. We need to safeguard the assets of this company for our work, and also for the future of this company, and also for the next generation. So this is what we are calling upon all the workers, including the community of Uchingola, Chilabombwe, where these operations are. Can we support this transition? You called for this transition, and let's all be part of it. Let's not allow anyone to destroy anything. Let's guard our assets generously. Thank you.
Who is representing the suppliers after the president? Yeah. Oh yeah, he will speak after the president.
So full name is just step down, sir.
I'm James Chansar, President of National Union of Miners and Allied Workers. The first thing that I want to say is that the union has always been partners with the government in running the affairs of Zambia, especially that our economy largely hinges on the mining activities. We've also been partners with various minings that have recognition agreements with us. The fact that we are going through this transition does not mean that we have ceased to be partners. We shall continue to be partners until we see effectively KCM going through the right things that we have always been demanding. What I want to say now is that to all of you KCM employees, this is not an opportunity to be excited, but an opportunity for us to work hard and prove to everybody that we are law-abiding workers. The union is going to remain watchdogs until the right thing is done. Thank you for this transition.
My full name is Mr Costa, Vice President. Mr Costa, Vice President, Mine Suppliers and Contractors. Okay, for us, this is what we've been advocating for. We've said time and again that KCM has not been paying. Now, we've got the provisional liquidator. One of the things that we've done is we have already mobilized in terms of what we are owed. And we've just spoken to the provisional liquidator already. And what we are trying to do is to work the assets to ensure that all of us are paid. And that is our focus. So we urge our members, those that have running contracts, to continue supplying because there should be no disruption. Otherwise, we will not get our resources. So this is a good thing. We have a direction. We will have someone independent in charge of the resources. And therefore, the redistribution of resources will be good. It will not now be dependent on KCM management, on who they pay. But the provisional liquidator decides who gets paid and for what service. So that's what I would want to say. Thank you very much.
Are you the commission looking to share with us how much you are?
Yes, we are owed over $260 million.
How many are you as suppliers?
We are more than 400 suppliers and contractors.
And your name again?
Mr Costa,
You are representing the...
Association of Mine Suppliers and Contractors. Thank you.
Mr Ngwira.
I wanted Moose. That's the president for the other union. Yes, yeah. London, president.